Did I do that? Yes, sis, you did. This is part 26 of how I discovered I was being cheated on by Carl Winslow. So the agreement was that if I could remember the password, I can go in. It only took me 2 tries. I only had to swap 2 sets of numbers. I don't even know the numbers now. I wouldn't be able to do it right now, you guys. But sometimes I think you are led and guided by things that are not your own. Like, I heard that voice that wasn't just my thoughts, that was something else pushing me and urging me to look. Okay? So, back in May, like I was saying, he had just changed everything. He said that he told this girl, Turquoise, that they couldn't talk anymore and that, he was in a relationship now. And like, he wrote down all of the women that are his friends that he might talk to periodically and not all the time. And basically gave me full access that I just never used because I didn't have a clue. Y'all, when I opened that watch, it took me all of like a second to start to see things. See, most people might go directly to looking for conversations with other women. I didn't. I went straight to his conversations with his friends first. And with his best friend, Louie. There's a picture of a woman that Carl had sent him. And the picture wasn't, there wasn't anything lewd about it, but I know what those pictures be meaning. Those pictures mean like, hey, nigga, look what I'm doing. And then I go into the thread with Waldo. And a couple of things are going on in here. He asks Waldo to check his location. I'm going to send you my location and see where it says I am. Which tells me that he is trying to throw his location. He tells Waldo about some female condoms. Now, we used some. We had said that because we got tested before we even started. So, like, really, that's never been a thing. And I had some, and we wanted to try them. So we used them. And they was kind of lit. I just wanted you guys to know, like, they've been playing this, trying to make it like male condoms are the thing. Female condoms, kind of cool. But he's telling this guy who is in a relationship with a very pregnant woman about these female condoms, which lets me know that he too is trash. I read the conversation with him and his best girlfriend because she and I have hung out. We've hung out when I was in DC for my best friend's birthday and on her birthday. And I'm just thinking like, oh, if she's in on this too, then I really feel bamboozled. That's not what I got from that conversation at all. In the conversation between them, he's telling her like, oh, Brittany is everything that I ever wanted. I just have no peace. And she's like, not understanding. He says, if I introduce her to the kids, it feels like I'm proposing. He said that to me before. And I said, well, that's what you're putting on. That's the energy you're putting on it because that's not what that means. We can't even get to the next step without me being involved and introduced into your kid's life because that's a whole nother life that you live with them. And then I'm a whole nother life that you're living. But guess what, guys? He was living a bunch of different lives, but that is neither here nor there. In this conversation with his best girlfriend, we'll just call her Asia. Asia is like, I don't get that impression that she's like that. That's not what I get from her. She's like, if you love her, I know she loves you. You guys should just try to figure it out. You should try to make it work because these streets, they ain't it. He's like, even her friends say that she needs therapy. And she's like, that's not the impression I get from Brittany. So I was appreciative that Asia didn't know, because that would have felt really shitty. So now I'm getting to the juice. And there are no less than 6 other women that he's either pursuing or with in this phone, this watch. I see a photo of him laid up in bed with a woman, talking about, I look at this picture often. She's like, can I get $60 sent? There are women who don't live in town who he's planning to link up with whenever they get here. I don't know if you're gonna like me for real. There's the woman who he had sent the photo of to Louis. Whole conversation. She knows about me. He's literally screenshotting our conversation, talking about, I've been dealing with this for the last hour. How are things on your end? So they're both fucking scoundrels. But you're talking about me to other women. You love other women. There are women that he loves. I love you. I love you too. 2 women at least that he loves. But one woman in particular, Diogi. But one woman in particular who I realized the conversation was different because it wasn't transactional. She was actually in love with him. And I could tell. But worse than that, I had to watch a video of them having sex raw in the watch. A 2-minute and 45-second video that I didn't watch the whole thing because that was unnecessary. But out of the 6, physically, he'd been with 2 of them. But this one, as I watched the actual act, was wild. Not only that, in these text message threads, I observed so many really scary things. Like him repeating things, doing some of the same things he did with me. There was a question game that we played when we first started dating that allowed us to really get to know each other. We were texting all day. We would just send each other questions and respond. And the next, he was literally playing this game with the one who knew about me. And she is all into it, but he's sending her the same answers that he sent me. When we were just thinking about each other, like we would send a thought bubble to each other or just like kissy face. It's like he's sending those same things to all of them. And not only that, like each and every one of them thinks that he has all the time in the world for them. So I'm thinking about the time we spend on the phone and texting, and I'm like, he's on the phone constantly to maintain these relationships. Because how the fuck does he have time? And of course he has time at work, but then it hit me. When he has his kids is when he's got the majority of the time.